Making rings can be both incredibly fun and incredibly frustrating. And there's all sorts of ways to make rings, all sorts of designs to work with. YouTube is an amazing source for learning how to do some of it, as is looking at wire wrapping books and old wire wrapping magazines. It all depends on how you learn best as to what you want to do. I'm going to show you just a couple of examples of rings that I've been working on. So this is a 4-prong teardrop cabochon. It's dyed howlite. This ring is a 2-wire band, 20 gauge with 28 gauge wrap. And this is right at about a size 6, I believe. Now remember, when you are working on your wire wrap jewelry, don't expect perfection. Do the best you can, but if you're not perfect, just remember these are handmade. This is coming from somebody that gets very frustrated when I'm not perfect. See the underside? This is not perfectly centered under the cabochon, but from the top, you really can't tell. It looks quite nice. This is another ring that's got the 2-wire band. It's actually, I've used the same pattern here, but I'm doing a round cabochon, a rose quartz, and right now I've got 3 prongs created. I'm going to try kind of a swirl on top of this. I like that on certain of my rings. And if I find out that I really don't actually like it, well, that's not that big of a deal, and just straighten my wire back out, snip it, and I'll have a 4-prong set. This I modified from something that I saw someone else on YouTube create. This is actually a 4-wire setup. And a different type of band. Now, remember I said don't expect perfection. My band is not perfect. It's not bad, but it's not perfect, and it drives me a little crazy when things are not perfect. However, it's still a beautiful piece. I've got a pink CZ faceted and 2 white freshwater pearls. This one was quite frustrating in the end. This is also another 4-wire band, and you'll see the wrap on these are 2 different types of wrap. So this is a much tighter look, and it's actually kind of off of this general creation pattern, but I wanted to do some different things with this. This is a much larger freshwater pearl, and I was doing this nice little not exactly U-shaped setting, but you see what I mean. This is a bead, so I do have 1 small 28 gauge wire running through it just to make sure that it stays set. Now, I was going to finish it, instead of doing something like this, I was finishing it with roses. And I got to this side to start swirling for the rose, and I had a wire break. This is going to happen. It is incredibly frustrating. It will drive you insane when it happens. Sometimes it's easy to fix, especially if it's like right in here and you weave in an extra bit of line for your weaving wire. This, not so easy to fix. I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do here in order to complete the ring. It will not be completely balanced the way I like, but some people actually do like one thing on one side and one thing on the other. They like that little bit of asymmetry. So, again, not going to be perfect, not going to be exactly what I wanted, but the whole trick to that is improvise and figure out a way to salvage your ring. Anyway, that's a short description on rings and different styles. You can use all sorts of cabochons. You can use all sorts of faceted gems, and it's going to take a little time to learn. It is, but that's okay. Take the time to learn, take the time to get better at it, because we all make mistakes. It doesn't matter how long any of us have been doing this. And trust me, there are people out there who are so far beyond my skill level. It is truly what I aspire to. But they've been doing it for years longer than I have. If you're brand new, if you're just starting out and you're getting frustrated, just remember, we all got frustrated with ourselves. We still get frustrated with ourselves. A person who has been out there making wire wrap jewelry for 40 years still gets frustrated with themselves. They still make errors. They still have wires break. They still end up with a ring that's the wrong size, and they have to start over because the commission piece was for a 9 and they somehow managed to make a 6. Don't give up on yourself. But if you're starting to get real frustrated, do step back. Set it aside for a little bit. Relax before you get back to it, or you're just going to cause it to get even worse. Alright, so that's my little spiel on this today. Thank you for joining me, and happy wire wrapping.